Again, hi everybody. We're going to get started in just a moment here. I'm going to give a couple minutes extra to allow people to log in, and then we'll get started with Prospect Square. So please bear with me.
Sounds like somebody's having a yummy lunch.
That it does, Pam. Yeah, if you guys are not wanting to ask questions or speak up right now and you're doing things in the background, please mute the call or mute yourself on the call. Good stuff. Thank you. All right, I think it's a good time to start here. Just want to say hi to everybody and thank you very much for joining me today. We're going to be reviewing Prospect Square and some of the updates to Prospect Square. First, I want to let you guys know if you, again, if you are not wanting to ask a question or speak up, please mute yourself on the call. If you do want to ask a question, feel free to kind of chime in as we go along, or you can leave me a question in the chat, the meeting chat box, and I will answer that question to the best of my ability at the end, towards the end of the call. All right, can everybody see my screen? Should say hello, Brittany. Yes, you're good.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes. Is there
All
any
right.
way you can make it bigger?
I probably can. Is that a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So today we're going to be going over Prospect Square, but I do like to start in desk to kind of give you guys a breakdown. And I know a lot of my agents probably already know this, but since we might have some other agents on the call, I want to go over what this is. So who can tell me what I'm looking at? What's this called? Anybody?
Desk.
Desk. Very
CD
good.
desk tiles.
Awesome. Okay, so desk was put together in the hopes of having all the applications that you use throughout your workday in one spot. Couple of things to note here is that you can drag and drop and move and rearrange the tiles as you see fit. You'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner, there's 3 dots. If you click into that, you can go down to support and find FAQs, probably the training deck that your field marketing team uses. Of course, that one didn't work. Let's try Prospect Square, for instance, and go to the Help Center. So you can get getting started, training resources, and your FAQs. And that goes for most of the applications that we have available to you on desk. The other thing to note is that if you are not currently or using something regularly, you can remove it from your desk by clicking on the X in the top right-hand corner. That doesn't mean it's gone forever. If you wanted to add it back on at a later date, you could come into Add Application, find that application again, and add it back into your desk. So it'll be located on that as that first tile. For today's instructions, though, we are going to be looking at one particular app, and that is Prospect Square. So I'm going to, if you guys are following along, click into Prospect Square, but I've already got an account open because going in through my admin takes a little bit of time. When you click into Prospect Square, you're brought to the home page here. And the home page is supposed to be just a snapshot of all of the campaigns that you've got going on. You can review how many entries you have in the current Clients for Life campaign. You get a snapshot of what your analytics look like for the last 14 days as default, but you can go back as far as 6 months. And then you have those training resources again here at the bottom. I'm going to go and just bring your focus back up to the snapshot of Clients for Life campaigns here at the top. If you wanted to resend or take a look at the analytics, you'll go to the current campaign and click on the 3 dots at the bottom right. And you can resend campaign, share on social, look at the analytics, and view entries. And we'll return back to this, and I'll show you how to actually resend the campaign in just a moment when we get over to Clients for Life. As a good rule of thumb, though, anytime you are in any of our applications, or if you want to and you have a good marketing strategy schedule in place, put in days to go in and do maintenance. And by maintenance, what I mean is come in and check each of your accounts for each of the different applications. So in the top right-hand corner, if you click on your picture, you can drop down and go into My Profile. And hopefully I don't get the wheel of death here, so bear with me. Okay. Once your profile's opened up, you can go in and add in any information that you see in there that is not either correct or just not populating. Most of this information is going to be housed in CB Homes admin and feed directly over into your Prospect Square profile. But you'll notice here, you can put in your preferred agent website. So if you've got that a personalized domain name, you can throw that in there. You can add in your phone numbers if those aren't feeding over correctly. Really important to do is to add in your social links. Right now you can connect those so that they auto post for you for both Twitter and LinkedIn. And then down at the bottom, entering in your office information. And you'll notice at the top, you can click on personal info, bring you back to that section, social media, back to that section, and then general information back into that section at the top. Once you've added in all the information that you'd like to here, just click Save and Close. Okay. So good rule of thumb to check that out. Why is it a good rule of thumb to check that out? Well, on each of the pieces that goes out to your clients, all of the emails that are sent out, that information in your signature line feeds from the information in your profile. So make sure that you've got that completely filled out so that if your clients want to reach out to you or check you out on social, they're able to do so easily through your signature line. We're going to hop over to Clients for Life. Okay. Really big new thing you'll see right here at the very top, it says default campaign settings. And I've run into this quite a few times where it's not, we need to actually now choose which group of ours is receiving the Clients for Life emails and make sure that that's set up. So we want to still name that group the primary sphere. We want to add all of our contacts into primary sphere. We can then turn on our social media sharing here, and then click Save and Close. Just want to do a little bit, check in to see that everything is working correctly. Save and Close, click OK, and exit from there.
Hey, Brittany, can I ask a quick question?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely, Steve.
Are you only able to send it to the primary sphere, or can you add additional groups that you've created?
That's correct. You can add additional groups in there that you've created. You should have everybody in the primary sphere, though. The reason behind that is when listing concierge, if you purchase a listing concierge package, they email blast automatically out to any clients that are in your primary sphere group. So you can add additional groups in there, absolutely, and choose which groups are going to receive it and which are not. But I would suggest, if you want your clients to receive the Clients for Life, or not Clients for Life, but the listing concierge email blast, to include them in the primary sphere group.
Got it. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so we're back to our Clients for Life campaign. We can see, all the upcoming campaigns here. We can see our past campaigns and click in and look at the analytics. We also have some supplemental campaigns that are down here. So you'll notice these are very new, the COVID-19 emails that you can email out to your clients if you see fit. We can also set, if you're adding new contacts in, this is a fun one to send out to them prior to, because it explains the program and what they can expect to receive from you via email. If I wanted to say, I know my contacts are really not going to want to hop on a wine train for whatever reason, you can click on the 3 dots in the bottom and opt out of that particular campaign. If I want to go in and resend this campaign, say I really didn't get the response that I was hoping for, now that people are home and have a little bit of time, and that the home improvement stores are still open, this might be a really great one to reach out and just send a quick fun message. You can change the subject line. You can add in a introduction message. If you want to edit the actual email itself, you can click into edit. And you can change whatever you see fit. And then you'd click on OK at the bottom. You can choose who you're going to distribute it to. So say you've added a new group in there, you don't want to send it back to just the primary sphere, you can click into which group you want to send it to, or you can send it to individual contacts. If you pop right in here and you forgot to add the contact prior to, you also have the option of adding the new contact directly in the email. Okay. Any questions on how to resend a Clients for Life campaign? Nope. Okay, fantastic. Next up, I'm going to just show you the analytics for the current campaign, and you can look at any of the analytics for the past campaigns. It's going to give you a breakdown of the total sent, total open, total clicks. You can see your click rate. Down below, you get a list of all your contacts, their email, and when and if they opened the email. So when you hear us saying, if you want to get on the phone and give these people a call, invite them to enter to win the Lowe's gift cards, this is where you'd find who opened it, who's viewed it, and who you should be reaching out to. All right, moving right along. I'm going to now bounce over to our contacts. Okay, so one thing you do want to make sure, again, that everybody is in the primary sphere. What's an easy way to do that? If you've just been adding contacts here and there, and you're not sure if everyone is in that primary sphere, you'll want to click on Click All here in the top left-hand corner, and then you'll notice it says 50 here. It's only grabbing the contacts from this first page. So if I have more than 50 contacts, which I do, 113, I'm going to want to then click Select All. Now I have all of my 113 contacts selected. I'm going to move over to Action and Manage Groups. Okay, and you'll notice a check mark. If everybody is in the primary sphere, that will be checked. If they are not all in that specific group, you'll want to click in and check that you want them in that group. And then click Apply. All right, so it's a real easy way to just get everybody once in a while, do some maintenance in here into your primary sphere. I'm going to move over to Import Export. And just so you know, I do provide a recap of my trainings, and I will be providing you a sample of an Excel spreadsheet that you can add contacts to easily import. I'm going to walk through importing contacts, but you'll notice down below, export contacts to a file is also available to you. So if you ever need to grab this list and maybe import it into another campaign that you're setting up, you can do that easily here. I click on import contacts. I click next. What type of file am I going to be importing? I'm going to choose a CSV file from any other source. I click next. And now I'm going to find that specific file. Okay. Now I have to actually align the fields or the columns of my spreadsheet with the names of the columns that Prospect Square recognizes. So you'll notice here at the top it says 1, 2, last, and last. Those are the titles in this list, but that is not what is actually housed in that column. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to say this is the first name of the client. This is the last name of the client, and this is their email address. Okay, and that would go on and on as you just want to make sure you match the same information that's in that column with the title. So this one was their phone number. Let's see if we can find phone number here. Home phone, email, we'll do mobile. Okay, I'm going to click
Brittany,
on.
So the minimum amount of information is just first name, last name, and email.
That's correct for
Okay.
Prospect Square. If we're talking about InTouch, you do need a phone number as well. I would highly encourage everybody to put the phone numbers in their list that they import, though, because when you do get a winner and it's super awesome, you want to be able to easily access that information to give them a call and let them know that they've won. And so just putting it in when you first import your contacts makes it a lot easier to just have that there. Okay, and then once I've mapped my fields, I'm going to go ahead and click next. Here's kind of what we were talking about earlier, Steve, too. This is where you can ignore any duplicates and do not import. So when we choose this, it's actually going to not bring in or duplicate any of the contacts you already have in there. That's how you can keep growing that same list over and over, and you're not, missing contacts here and there because you're not sure if you've already imported them or not. So we can choose ignore duplicates. We can also do a second list. Maybe we're getting more information, we're filling it out. I can update the existing contact detail for the mapped fields. I can replace the entire contact. So say it was, this is my list of all updated email addresses and phone numbers. I'm going to replace the entire contact. And then you can allow duplicates to be created. This is an option here, but I would highly suggest not to use that as your option. And then once I click next, it will start to import those contacts, and within minutes, depending on the size of your list, you should have all of your contacts in your all contacts page. Does anybody have any questions on importing contacts? Beautiful.
So
Okay.
real quick, Brittany, so
Sure.
after you're done, after you've completed that, you can then export that newly created CVS file to InTouch, so you don't have to do the whole process over again, correct?
100%. Yep, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to move along then to reports. We have 3 separate types of reports that you can provide to your clients: area, market, and quarterly. Area and quarterly reports are going to be very similar in the fact that they are created on your behalf. So you don't have to go in and set your criteria or boundaries for those. Those are just automatically in there, and they get sent out for the area report monthly and for the quarterly report quarterly. Usually the area report will go out on the 8th of the following month for the prior month. So for March, it will go out on April 8th. For quarterly report, it takes a little bit longer to get all of that information in there. And I believe that's sent out on the 18th of every month. I'm going to click into area report. And if you've never created or you do not currently have clients receiving an area report, you'll have a big blank screen right here. I want you to focus more on the preview and share for this portion. So if I click over to preview and share, here's all of those, and I mean hundreds and hundreds of reports that are already created. From this page alone, I can take a look at that report. All right. And from that, taking a look, I can print to PDF. So say you want to grab a quick piece, you're going to go out and do a little bit of farming. This might be a nice one. Or if you wanted to print a couple and mail them off to some specific investors or some hot clients, print this off, you know, write in a quick little handwritten note and handwritten letter or mail to them. And it's just good and little information for them to receive from you, and something that's already put together. You can share it to social, which I think is fantastic, and I encourage all of you guys to do it. It's really neat. We'll go down here and we'll click on Facebook. So if I wanted to share this to Facebook, I can write something in here. I can share it to my newsfeed or my story or my page. When it does populate on my actual Facebook page, it will populate with the image that you see here and the name of the area report. So it's just a really quick, easy way to get a post out there on your social, and it's informative and it's good content. And then again, you can do that from Facebook just directly here on that page.
Brittany,
there's a better option.
The company's sending this out automatically already for the primary sphere, correct?
So no, not your market reports. You can set these up to go out to your primary sphere though, and we'll walk through that in just a moment.
Maybe you did it for
not
me.
Automated.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So again, if I wanted to post to my social, I can just write something in here, choose where I want to post it to, and send it away. Or if I had specific clients I wanted to receive it, I can click in and add, say, right? And there's and I send this directly to them, and they'll be tagged in that post. So it's a fun little way to get in front of your clients. I'm going to close out of here, and we'll go back in. The next option we have is the link for these reports. These are live links. So if you've ever seen my email signature, and I'll just pull one up here for you real quick. Let me see. Okay, in my email, and everybody can see that, correct? I've added in the link. Click here to view the Alameda County Quarterly Report. This link that's on Prospect Square for you is a live link. It's automatically updated. So I put this in back in 2000 and, I guess probably 2018. And I still have a live Alameda County fourth quarter quarterly report that goes into all of the real estate information and snapshots of the industry at that point in time. What I like about the quarterly report as well is at the end of the quarterly report, it breaks it down into those area reports. So a client could go in and specifically view each of the different cities for that county. Okay, and if any of you that are my agents would like to schedule something to put that link on either your website or your signature line, feel free. We can do that pretty easily together and remotely. Okay, and then another option here to share again, just a few more of those social platforms that you may want to send this out to. Okay, so that's going to be exactly the same like I showed you for the quarterly report. You can set that up to share or go in and share. You do have to do all of that part manually. Let's say, though, I want to set someone up to receive the quarterly report every quarter. To do that, I'm going to click into, and we want to stay on this first browse page, and click New. Okay, so I want to bring your attention to the red indicated fields here, and then the question marks as well. So red is going to be required, and that pretty much goes across the board for all the sites that we have. So you do need to fill those out to be able to either preview and or send. If you hover over the question marks, it will give you kind of a breakdown of what is requested in that field. So on this one, it's an internal name, does not show up on the report. So I know that this is going to be a name that I want to, that's only going to be for me. So I'm just going to say Alameda for, say, John. Okay. I'm going to next choose who I want to receive this email on a quarterly basis. Again, I'm going to say I can either browse or I can add a new contact. So we'll just click into browse real quick and grab this first contact here and click OK. But you can also search your contacts. You can search an entire group, which I'll show you real quickly. So say, Steve, to your request, or if this is being sent out, this is how you would go in and choose your entire primary sphere to receive the report on a quarterly basis.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think we might have set that up together in the past.
We may have, correct. I can hop into yours later and take a look real quick, do a spot check. Okay, so I'm going to grab a contact here and click OK. Then I want to choose which of those reports I want to send them. So I go into browse, and you can see I have all of my quarterly reports available here. And I'm going to click OK. All right. Now, do I want to be copied on this report? And I always kind of bring up this story because to me, it's funny. But when I first got in here and started playing around, I was the marketing coordinator for Pleasanton, and I added in all the Pleasanton agents and then added, sent out the Pleasanton report for the month and set them all up on it. Well, I decided I did want to get copied on that email that was sent out. I think we had about 86 agents in the Pleasanton office when I set this up. So when I got into the office that day, I had just about 86 emails in my inbox with the exact same thing. So if you are deciding to send this to a large group, you don't want to copy yourself. You want to add yourself as a contact. If you're just sending it to one, though, go ahead and CC yourself. I encourage every single one of you to receive anything that you're sending out to your clients at the same time. That way, if they pick up the phone and have a question, you know exactly what they're referring to. Report enabled. So again, if we hover over this, it's going to say if they want to receive it on a monthly basis, or if they do not, you just want to send this out to them on a one-time basis. So if I want them to receive it every month, I'm going to click yes. If I do not, I will click no, and they will just receive that singular email from me. I'm going to click on yes, though. Here's where we put in our email subject line. So this is going to be the first email. They've never received this report from you before, so you want to kind of make it stand out and give it, some familiarity. So your name, their name, what is in it, and then every subsequent email that they get afterwards is going to be here in the follow-up email signature line. So this can be something short and sweet, but you still want to make it personalized. After you've completed all of this, you want to click on preview and share. Always preview what you're sending out to your clients. And this is an example of what they would receive. So they have the ability when they receive it to convert it to a PDF, view it in a browser, share, contact, or forward to a friend. And then they get a breakdown of that quarterly county report. If you like the way the report looks, you're feeling good, save and send. Okay, so that's pretty much how you get people signed up for a quarterly report or an area report. What happens if I don't want to send it for the entire city or the entire county? Can I create a smaller, subset area for a buyer or seller and just let them know really what that specific little farm or territory is, how the real estate there is doing? You can. That's going to be in the market reports. So you'll notice at the top, there's no preview and share here, just the browse. So you do have to go in and completely pick the criteria and the area for that market report. And I'm going to walk you through that right now. I do apologize for the kind of lag and with my internet today. Okay, so again, I'm going to give this a title, and this is going to be an internal name for me. So I'm going to say, let's say market report for John Sycamore Grove. Yeah. To choose my criteria, I can either click into the box here or click on edit. Okay. I have the option at the very beginning to do a search from a specific property or address and a radius search. I can put in a specific MLS and do a radius search, or I can click on map search at the top. Click these two little arrows to kind of get rid of the criteria for the time being until we can pick our spot. Let's go down, and I live in Livermore, so I'm going to give you guys a little tour of a Livermore report here. I really, really would love to live in this little area down by Sycamore Grove, so I'm going to go through and just set my parameters. So I kind of washed right over that. I apologize. At the top right-hand corner, you do have a couple of options for your radius. Or your boundaries. So you can do just a straight rectangular section. You could do a circle section, or you can click on polygon. I clicked on polygon, and then all I need to do is click on where I want my polygon to start, and then where I want it to curve. So if I want to choose this whole section, I just click, drop, and then I want to close it, and that will prompt me to name this area. Click on OK. We're ready to roll. So I've got my boundaries now. I want to go in and I want to set the fields for the criteria. So let's change some of this around. We do want to include any on-market properties. And I'm going to say I want to include some properties for the last 60 days. I want to include sold properties, and I'm going to keep it right at 180 days. I'm not really interested in sending my client anything off market, so I'm going to pull that off. I'm not really going to, but you may want to at this point in time, because I know there's a lot of, fluctuation in the market. So this is something that you can go in and set, but I'm going to remove the pendings for right now. I can say what my listing min max is going to be. I do want to put in a property type, so I can either click in and choose from the drop down menu, or I can just start typing in. If you want to put mins and max in, just start typing that dollar amount in there. I don't need to set an area location because I've already got my boundaries. I can choose a style, but I'm not going to really go that deep dive into this one. But you do have your min max for your bathrooms. You can put in, if they want multi-story, or you can put in the year built max min. So a lot of different options when it comes into the criteria and what you're going to be sending to your client and the message you want to send to them. Once you've completed your criteria, you can click on OK. All right. I love when this shows up. So if you have a search that has less than 5 properties or more than 200 properties, you will receive this sort of error message. It's not that big of a deal. All it means is we've got to go back in just for a little bit and kind of rearrange or change our criteria. And the easiest way to do that, if you've put in min-max for beds, baths, or price, pull that out of there and just include everything unless it's specifically what you want the client to see, or change how far back we're looking at. So now I've got 180 days, 180 days. Let's see if that will give me a good amount. Awesome. Okay, thanks. Let's try it again. Maybe we'll just add in those pending. There's got to be more than 5 for the last 300 or year. Okay. Get it. All right. I apologize. Usually I don't get 3 in a row. Aramis, oh, 4. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here real quick, and let's make it a bigger boundary. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, let's see if that'll work. Nope, great. Okay. I apologize, everybody. Give me a second here. It usually works, and I did one right in the spot yesterday. Let's do dive out of here. Get it a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna back out of this. So I'm going to show you an example of what should pop up. You get an email. You'll go in. You can do the exact same thing. Set your frequency of how frequently you want the person to receive the email. Again, choose if you want it to go out on a different frequency. So when you get to that next step, it'll say how many times a week or a month or the year would you like them to receive the report. But the report will populate with same sort of message here as we had with our area and quarterly, but it gives you a snapshot of the area that you chose. So that boundary snapshot of the area that you chose. It'll give you any of the information, the criteria that you wanted to include in that. It'll give you an idea of what average days on market, gives you a snapshot of the average list price, your sold data, and then it goes into the market trends for that area. And then you get a market summary. So it's going to give you links for each of those listings that are included in your criteria. And then what I think is really neat, when the client receives this, they can actually click into any of these properties. It pops open with like a one-page information on the property, but they can also click through and take a look at any of the pictures that are on the MLS. So it pulls these all over. It's just a real nice way to get listings in the area that client's looking, or perhaps selling. The information for that market, keep you as their top of mind and their agent that's in front of them and branded in front of them the entire time. And that way they're not looking at these properties on Zillow or on Redfin. You are their agent and you are giving them a complete overview of that listing. And that goes for all of them here. And then at the bottom, I just want to show you as well, if they do ever want to unsubscribe, it's at the way bottom of the email. So a lot of times they don't. But what's neat is when they click through to unsubscribe from a market report, they have the option from unsubscribing from the market report, or from Clients for Life, or both. So not necessarily if they unsubscribe from a report, will they be unsubscribed from Clients for Life. Okay. And I know I wasn't able to give you a complete walkthrough of the market report. I apologize for that. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I would suggest, as a kind of fun little educational thing for yourself, go in, add yourself as a contact, and then set yourself up with an area report, a market report, and a quarterly report. And just that way you become familiar with the program, and you can come in here and easily and quickly put together a report to send out to a client. I want to go down here to report settings. So in each of the area, market, and quarterly reports, there is a message that is in there, and you can choose what message is being sent out with each of those reports. So if you want to go in and personalize the message that they're receiving, you can do so in your report settings. Okay. So for the area report, right, this just goes out. You've got your initial intro and your secondary or follow-up intros to your reports. For the market report, you've got a lot more options here because you have can set them up on any frequency that you want, or you can even choose to hide this report intro. So if you don't want that to go out to them, you just want them to get the information, you can choose to hide this. You can also change the default cover. So you can go in, there are some options for you to choose from here and change that cover photo. And same thing for the quarterly report, intro, and then every follow-up intro, and then you can change the default cover as well. So there are some really neat ways to go about personalizing these and getting them out to your clients. I'm going to move just real quickly into groups now. Groups is not the most difficult thing in the world, but I'll show it to you anyway. So if you wanted to add a new group, you just click on groups and then come to new. You get a one field question box here. And you give it a name and you save and close, and then you've got a brand new group. So not too difficult with the groups, but I like to kind of walk you through that. The listing concierge and update reports. These are brand new. If you haven't been in Prospect Square for some time now, you will notice those are new to the program. Listing concierge email blasts. These are now going to be housed here for you. So if you wanted to resend out the email blast to your primary sphere, you can do so within Prospect Square. You just come to which flyer you wanted to. So say you've got a open house or you've got a price reduction, you want to let everybody know about it. You can click on send again. I can give, we can put in the property address here. I can give my email subject line. So you could do recently reduced. Not that we ever want that to be the case, but recently reduced. I can choose which contacts groups I want to receive it, or I can add in individual contacts. I can send now or just say no to save it. Maybe you want to come back in and send it later. I can go in and edit all of the copy on that email. So I can click in and say, you know, recently reduced or open Saturday, Sunday. When we get to go back into the field, you can come and change some of the copy. Maybe you've noticed something just doesn't really fit or sound right, and then click OK. Once you've got your email the way you want it to go, you can click on Save and Send, and it'll send out to the contacts that you've chosen here.
Okay, Brittany, I have a quick question on that,
Sure.
please.
Yeah.
So as part of listing concierge, it says that it also gets sent out to some gigantic list of realtors. Who has that list, or who created it?
I'm going to get there for you in just a moment.
Okay, because can this also be resent to that group?
It sure can. But
okay, thank you.
And I'll get there in just a moment, like I said, but there are some things I'm going to ask of everybody and the agents as well. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of this. If anybody has any questions on how to resend to their own sphere, this is how you do it here. You can also take a look at your analytics. So if you wanted to see how many people opened this up and how many people it was sent to, you can find that information here. And again, it'll give you your opens. So if you want to reach out to some of these, maybe say you've got this listing, you've got some buyers that you know might be interested, you can take a look and see if they received that email and opened it up. Analytics, this is something that we are working on all of the time so that it's actual, factual, up-to-date information for you to use. And this again just goes into how many people are opening up your market reports, how many people are looking at your clients for life emails, how many opens you've got, and your click-through rate. I'm going to go to the update reports. So included, like you were talking about, Steve, in all of the listing concierge packages, and actually as long as you are an agent in one of our offices and your listing is in the MLS on the Thursday of the week, on Friday mornings we send out the update. And the update, depending on your MLS or your area, your office, can be anywhere. I think Walnut Creek's is a group of 4,000 people that it's sent out to, but it's sent out to anybody associated or any affiliates to that MLS. It gets sent to. The updates, again, are sent on Friday, and they include all new listings to the MLS associated with your office and all open houses associated with your office. So they are getting the information when we have new listings or when we have when our open houses are coming up that weekend. It'll be included automatically. Something that you really don't need to think about too much. It's all done for you. However, if you are not receiving the updates, please, after this call, shoot me a quick email and let me know you're not receiving them. I will have you added to the lists. Okay.
Is that separate from the other more recent email that comes to us that shows all the Coldwell Banker listings? And
yeah, we just switched over this to Prospect Square. So this is a brand new platform sending it out. And then we also, I'll show you, changed kind of the look and feel of what's getting sent out. So here's an example of the update. And this is, again, sent out to those huge email blast lists. It gives your new listings first. And then it goes into, and we probably won't have any open houses on here right now because of the social distancing, but after would show all of the open houses for that weekend.
And this is for both Coldwell Banker agents and any other realtor that's in the system in MLS, correct?
No, this is just Coldwell Banker.
Oh, just Coldwell Banker. Yep. Okay.
Yep, just Coldwell Banker. Okay. So now what you were speaking to, and I'm going to X out of here and go in. So your office sales support administrator, as well as your field marketing specialist, have access to resend out to those big lists. The one thing that I want to stress is we don't want to flood everybody with tons and tons of listing flyers or listing emails. So what I do ask, if it is something that you'd like to be sent out to a large group of people, you need to have a couple of things for it to go out. One, I would prefer if your managing broker was the requester for it. They're going to say yay or nay and have the kind of final say if it's worthy content to send out again. The other thing is if it is maybe like we just talked about, a recent reduction in price, or if it's a really cool historical, or you're going to be having a Twilight open, something along those lines, I would feel comfortable resending out. But we do want to make sure, again, I just want to stress, we don't want people to unsubscribe from those emails. And since they're already receiving it on a weekly basis with all of our new listings and our open houses, we want to make sure they're already receiving the information, so we don't want to inundate them with emails. So just if you could, use your conscience, and if it's something that you think everybody would like to see or really be interested, or maybe you've got a crazy client and they're demanding you to do all this extra stuff, those are all things that we can chat about offline to get those flyers sent out. But yes, we can resend to the large groups, and that can be done by either your SSA or by your field marketing specialist. Okay. And that really kind of concludes today's class. I am here for the next 10 minutes if you guys want to unmute and ask questions. If you want me to go back through any of the information that I just covered, I can do that. But if you don't have any questions, I encourage you guys to hop into your Prospect Square sometime today and add yourself as a contact and start setting yourself up with a couple of those reports and becoming familiar with the program itself.
Okay, one more question, Brittany, and I appreciate your time, by the way.
Yeah.
What about email blasts to realtors other than Coldwell Banker?
That's who that goes out to.
It is who it goes out to. Okay, I thought you said the opposite. Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, any other questions, anybody? Don't be scared, I don't bite.
Hi, Brittany, I have a question.
Hi, who am I talking with?
Cassandra.
Hi, Cassandra, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm cold, actually. It's freaking freezing today, so.
I'm hot.
Okay, what can I answer for you?
For the campaigns, does it automatically send to your sphere, or you have to set it up to send to it?
You'll just want to go in and let me pop into an account here to show you. You just want to make sure two things: everybody's in the primary sphere, and second, that you have your campaign settings set. So just well, it doesn't matter whose. Let's go right here. We'll go into Monica's because I know she was playing with this today too. So at the top on the Clients for Life page, once this loads, you see the default campaign settings. As long as you've got your primary sphere checked in there, you're set. You don't need to worry about it. It's going to go out. The Clients for Life campaign goes out on the second Tuesday of every month. You should receive information from either myself or from your SSA on what the campaign is about, what we're giving out, the social graphics that you can use for it. All of that is available to you prior to, so you'll hear things announced. But yeah, you set this and kind of forget it, and but not completely forget it, because we always want to do a little bit of maintenance. So every 6 months or so, go in and make sure everything that we are sending out that's client facing is correct. Yeah, you're good. So as long as that's, one of these is checked, those people will receive that email without you thinking about it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, okay, that's fine.
Well, no, it doesn't sound like I maybe answered the question. Do you?
No, you did.
Okay.
I'm just still learning it.
No problem. The only way they won't receive it is if you go in after that point and opt out. So say in April, I don't want to send this. I can click on opt out, and then I'm no longer going to, or that particular campaign won't go out, but then May's would if I had it scheduled.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for your time.
No problem.
Have a good day.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Any other questions? Check the chat box here. I think a lot of people are hopping off, but let's see here. I heard the campaigns will be updated for next couple of months due to the COVID. Do you have? Yeah, so that's very good. Thank you, Margaret. They are going to be updating some of the campaigns. For instance, You know, the wine train, even though the wine train they can use at any point in time. So I don't have 100% answer for that. It's difficult to kind of reschedule all of those because here in the East Bay, we have a different campaign than San Francisco has and Monterey has. So there's a couple of things that need to go into that and adjusting all of that. But I'm sure our managers are going to be, our FMMs are going to be distributing that information as quickly as they can. Right now, it's just, you know, kind of rolling with the flow and try and do as much as we can with the information that we're given. Okay. All right, well, I think I can let everybody go. Again, I will send out a recap, and I hope you all have a very healthy and safe rest of your day and week, and I hope that we get back to work quickly. Talk to you soon.